Welcome to 100 Yards of Football this evening. It's our Dallas weekly video. And this evening, we're going to highlight Ambry Thomas, cornerback out of the University of Michigan. If you like the video this evening, please come in and share it. And maybe the Dallas Cowboys. I take a look at them in the rounds 3 to 4 in the next week's NFL draft. I'm Vincent Turner, and joining me, as always, the very talented, the legend. Oh my God, I can remember when I was let me get this correct. I was a junior. I came home during Christmas holidays. And I sat down in the front room of my father, and I watched this young man take Florida State to the Orange Bowl and play Oklahoma. And Lord, if you could have told me today, I was talking to him off air, that I'd be doing a show with this very great, talented young man from Delray Beach, Florida. He always tell me it's the 305. I could have said, man, you out of your mind, but I'm very blessed this evening. Oh, Lord, I'm very blessed. And I'm a kid in the cookie jar to have him with me over the past year. My man, the very talented, two-time All-American at Florida State University. He put him on the map. Please don't get him misconstrued. Go back and check the record books. He started Florida State football. And he was a first-round draft choice in the 1981 NFL draft. Don't make no mistake, because he reminds me every week that it was the best draft in draft history. My man, Mr. Bobby Butler. How you doing this evening, BB?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Doing great. I'm excited about next week, man. See how everything play out, man. It's gonna be awesome.
So right quick, before we get into this young man, Ambry Thomas, cornerback out of the University of Michigan, you experienced this firsthand. Mm-hmm. And let's take you back in time. What was you thinking like as a 21-year-old at the time, because you hadn't turned 22, right, leading up to the draft, a week for the draft? Tell everybody out there, what was it like, man?
Well, I mean, it was an exciting time, but you know, Vincent, with me, I had the experience of watching teammates for 3 years going to the draft. Mm-hmm. Guys expecting to get drafted at a higher level.
Yes, sir.
And it didn't happen. So when I went into the draft, even what my agent was telling me, I didn't want to hear it. I said, look, if I just go in the first 3 rounds, I'm going to be happy, right? He kept telling me, you're going to be number one. You know, I don't want to hear that. I had some friends say all that stuff too, and it never happened. And so I was just trying to be, not overexcited about where I could possibly go and how high. I just wanted to get in because I knew I could play. And so, but when that day came, I tried my best to sleep through the first round because they used to do the draft early in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, the draft started in 1981 at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the morning.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. And so
times have changed.
I got drafted right about 11 o'clock. So it was a while, right? It was a while. So yeah, man. So it was good, and it turned out to be exactly what my agent told me, and the rest was history.
The phone call, was it a lot of people around you? Was it tears? Was your daddy proud?
Well, I wasn't with my folk, and the draft wasn't like it is today or before the pandemic. It wasn't all the hype. I was in my wife's apartment. There was one report. When I woke up, there was a reporter in the room. I don't know how he found out where I was, but he did. And so it was just the 3 of us, right? It was just the 3 of us watching the draft. And most of my buddies who knew me, they knew where I was anyway, right? And so, I kept getting a couple of phone calls, the trickeration by your friends, But my first call really was from the Dallas Cowboys before the Falcons called me. Mm-hmm. And I always and I always had a dream to play for the Dallas Cowboys. That's where I wanted to play. And I got that phone call, and they said, if you're available, we're going to take you. And 10 minutes later, the Falcons called me. We're going to take you. And the Falcons had to pick right before the Cowboys.
Well, before we get into Mr. Thomas and let you break him down, I would say this, and I haven't never said this here on 100 Yards Football. I'm speaking for everybody today. When you look over the year that you've been with us and during the pandemic and just looking at the draft, because that's my favorite time of the year. I love it, man.
Oh, man, it's exciting.
I love to see the players, the interaction between the families, the tears. But sitting right here today, and I look up to the sky to the Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Man, as I told you today before we came on, if somebody would have told me 5 years ago, hey man, you'll be doing this on a Facebook platform and you have a guy that actually played at a high level, who I watched, was a first round pick, arguably in the greatest draft ever, Lawrence Taylor, Dennis Smith, Ronnie Lott, Mel Owens, Kenny Easley, I would have looked at you like you was crazy. Man, thank you. Thank you for being a part of us, man, and hoping that we can do great things down the road, because greatness is really, I feel, ahead of us. And thank you so much into the Florida State Nation, to the city of Delray Beach,
yes, sir.
and to the Atlanta Falcons. Now, my brother, BB, as you always do, break down Mr. Thomas out of the University of Michigan. What you love about him?
Man, I love this kid, man. He's amazing, right? The kid is just under 6 feet. And he's so close to 6 feet, Vincent, I'm going to give him 6 feet. But he's 5'11", 7'8" inches, right? 190 pounds. A lot of people, and this is amazing, a lot of people think that that's small for today's corner, right? I wish I was 190 pounds when I came out in 1981, right?
Yes, sir.
But this kid, man, plays with a lot of heart. He's very aggressive. His skill level, athleticism is off the charts. You know, on his pro day, he ran the 4.3740. He vertical 38 inches. You know, his standing broad jump was 10.2. So that tells me he's very explosive. But when you watch his film, you see the explosiveness, right, in him. But here's the thing I like about this young man, you know, Ambry Thomas. He loves to lay hands on receivers, right?
Yes,
when he gets up close and personal, he's going to lay hands on you, right? And I'm going to tell you, and the way he do it, he's hard to deal with when he plays bump and run up close and personal, right? So I'm excited about him. This kid, he tackles well, you know. He's very physical and aggressive. He's got that temperament. Now, one thing he's going to learn when he get to the league, you know, when you play out wide, when you play corner out wide, you're going to have to tone your aggression down just a little tad. Because when you're out there on that island, it's about that track race. It's about that race you're in. And so all you're doing is chasing receivers up and down the numbers, outside the hashes, right? And so he'll find that out when he get there, because it's going to be a tad different. But he's going to be really good in press man schemes. He's going to be really good in cover two. I love the way he plays cover two, Vincent. He understands it. And, you know, in the league, there's some teams that play a lot of what they call Tampa 2, right? Which is basically cover two with a 3-deep look, right? With the linebacker running the deep middle of the field. And so he's going to be a great Sunday player, man. I'm excited about it. And here's the other thing I like about him. When I look at his history, you know, we see what he did in college, right? He's very physical, good corner, got good ball skills. But when I look at his past, he's a former wide receiver, punt returner, and kickoff returner. He even returned some kicks up at Michigan. I think he took Notre Dame 99 yards for a kickoff return, put one in the end zone against them a couple of years ago. But this guy is he's got all the tools, man. I can't wait to see him play on Sunday. Okay,
as Bobby, you know how we do it. As always, we compare him to other great players. Let me ask you this. What would you compare his game to that guy, Ty Law, that just got voted into the Hall of Fame? Or what about Charles Woodson? Or what about Leon Hall? 3 great players that played the position in Michigan. What do you think about his game compared to that?
I like the Ty Law comparison. I really like the Ty Law comparison, you know. Now, he's gritty, just like Charles Woodson. Now, Charles Woodson was, man, I mean, that kid can do anything. Wide receiver, kickoff return. I mean, Charles Woodson can do anything, right? And so here is another Michigan kid, you know, coming up for the draft. And here's the thing about it. He's got the potential to be a number 1 corner. You heard what I just said?
Yes, sir. Amen.
The Richard Shermans, the number 1 guy, right?
Yes, sir.
Where people are not going to mess with him. Well, we can't mess with him, because he's going to throw all the timing off when he's up close and personal. He's not up there just to decorate the bumper run look. He's up there with a purpose, to lay hands on you. And and I know, when you're physical at the line, you're going to disrupt 99% of the pass patterns just by laying hands on people. And another thing I love about him, he got that one thing them boys got in the 305. Listen, Vincent, if he make a mistake at the line, he's got
recovery speed.
He's got it. So, man, listen. So when I see a kid like this, and I love it when the so-called experts talk about it, oh, he's too small. What they need to do, what the experts need to do sometimes, they need to go back and look at their old scout reports on everybody they said was too small. Right? They need to go and look at Bobby Butler from '81, who was drafted at 155 pounds. They need to go back and look at some of these great guys who's been playing, and next thing you know, they all pros, they Pro Bowls, they Hall of Fame players. But what they had in the book was, oh, he's too small. Come on, man. Can he play? What did he do against Ohio State receivers? What did he do against Penn State receivers? Can he play? That's all I need to know. I don't care how big, how small, because at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with the outward appearance. You know what's the most important thing with a great player, Vincent? It's what's on the inside of here.
The heart.
It's at the heart. And you talking about a kid who got heart? This kid got heart.
Well, one thing I like, because the young man came out of Martin Luther King High School in Detroit, one of the most, I want to say, serious high schools in Detroit, if you know what I mean.
Oh, exactly.
I'm not going to go there. But, Bobby, I'm going to compare him to some of the greats. And when I get through, just tell me which one you think he mirrors the most.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the young man that kind of tutored you. Mm-hmm. Jackson State finest, Detroit Lions fans by the name of Lynn Barney.
Yes,
then I'm going to go down to the Bayou. Two corners that played on the national championship team with LSU. I want to say 2003. One of them was from your area, Travis Daniels and Corey Webster. Then a young man that came out of 901. One of the best defensive players ever to come out of my hometown was a fourth round pick of the Green Bay Packers, Mr. Mike McKenzie.
Yes, sir.
Then a young man that I saw play personal back in 80, 81 when I was at the University of Arkansas, had a good run in the league, fifth round pick in the 83 draft, Mr. Danny Walters out of the University of Arkansas. Then a young man from Augusta, Georgia, played at Auburn, first round pick, Carlos Rogers.
Yes, sir.
And then another guy, this for you, Jeremiah, our producer, played in Tennessee. He was one of the best recovery guys. When you talk about, like you said, can you be able to recover, BB? Mr. Terry McDaniels that went to the Oakland Raiders.
Yes, sir.
All them, which one you think this young man, Mr. Thomas, mirrors the most?
I'm gonna tell you, I like the Terry McDaniels comparison, man. That was great, right at the end, Listen, man, this kid, and here's the thing that's gonna be good for an NFL team, because he's not gonna be a first day pick. He's going to be a second-day pick. Could be an early third-day pick. But if he go that far, man, somebody's going to get a valuable player. That's going to be a great value if he went that far. And here's the thing I know about a kid like this. I don't know him personally. But when I studied him, when I watched him, I do know. When I see the way he played with the kind of heart he played, if he get drafted on the third day, he's going to play with that Detroit chip on his shoulder. And if that happens, bro, we're going to see greatness come out. Wherever he go, somebody going to get a gem.
Final words on Mr. Thomas this evening here on the Dallas Weekly Video here on 100 Yards of Football.
At the end of the day, this guy has potential to be an early starter in the league. This guy's got a potential to be a star cornerback. Like I told you, I think he's a number one corner, right? And so there's some things that a kid possessed that you can't coach, you can't teach. And that's the ability that he was born with. And so another thing you can't teach is his temperament, the way he plays from his heart. And so a kid like that, man, the sky is open. I'm not going to even say the sky's the limit. The sky is open to a kid like this. So I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see where he get drafted. I'm excited to see who pick him up and the kind of scheme that they play with this guy, because that's going to have a lot to do with how well he do right off the bat.
Well, if you like the video this evening, please come in and share it. We broke down the young man out of Michigan, Mr. Ambry Thomas. One more time, if you like the video, please come in and share it. As a great singer, she's about 4'8". Amen. This young man, like she said, cherish the day. Lonely day. Mr. Thomas is going to cherish the 2021 NFL draft, which team drafted him by the great words of Sade.
Yes, sir.
If you like the video this evening, please come in and share it. Thank you, Mr. Bobby Butler, two-time All-American, Florida State University. First round draft pick, as he always tell me, the greatest draft in NFL history, the 1981 draft. Y'all be safe this weekend. Be blessed. And we are 100 yards of football. Good evening.